If you had to negotiate your way back into life for God to give you a second chance, do you think you would succeed? Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I go by the name Pindile Waganzimande. Some of my other friends call me Laura. So I'm sure you've seen the title of this video. God gave me a second chance to life, and yes, I had to negotiate my way back into life. So today's story is actually motivated by the book of Samuel, where we learn of a lady by the name of Hannah. I'm sure Siamazu Hannah, ne? Okay, I'm going to be talking Zulu and English because I'm Zulu. So I'm sure you'll know the story of Hannah, Samuel's mother. Okay, for those that don't know, let me just brief you. So there was a young lady by the name of Hannah. She was a second wife, and she couldn't have children. And she prayed and prayed for years for a son. And she asked God, please, God, I pray that you give me a son. And still nothing happened. And she prayed and nothing happened. So this one day when they went to the temple, she prayed and said, God, if you give me a son, I promise I will give back this child back to you. I will devote him to you, and zizobe served in serving you. So immediately when Hannah changed her tune and her way, God gave her a son. So now we go back to my story. Guys, in the year 2013, I sustained a back injury. So where I fractured my T7 and T9. And unfortunately, that injury kind of led to a temporary paralysis. That is what my neurosurgeon diagnosed me as a temporary incomplete paralysis. So meaning I am temporarily a paraplegic. So let me explain the story. I'm not going to go into full details or the itty bitty details as to what happened to me in order for me to end up in this situation. One day I will do a detailed video as to what happened later on. Okay, so guys, when this happened, when I sustained an injury, I was in ICU. I was ventilated. And the doctors had said that I'm not going to make it. I'm going to die. There's no ways, because I also fractured my skull. So I was bleeding a lot from the head. From what family members tell me, from my eyes, the pupils were not showing. So I was just completely white, like on my eyes. You couldn't see anything. And I was ventilated. So I want to explain to you guys what happened to a person when they are kind of like ventilated or balele abantu nina ngaphandle nimbona umuntu njengathulele kanti there is something that's happening to a person while you're on the outside nimbhekile lapho. So what happened to me, guys, this is what happened. When I was in that ICU bed, I was in so much of peace. I can't explain the type of peace that I had at that very time. I was in so much of peace, and I could hear everything that was going on around me. I could hear my family members when they'd come and visit. I could hear them cry and everything, but I couldn't respond. It's like it's like you are in a dream, but you are trapped, but you're also alive at the same time. So what happened in that very short time, I won't say short time because, okay, it was a period of time, What happened was, I was in so much of peace, and the place that I was at, Ngatini, I have to say everything as truthfully as I can, because angifuna ukukhuluma manga, because uNkulunkulu ngibhekile. I try and speak everything ngeqiniso ngendlela enga-experience ngakhona. So at that very same time, guys, ngilele lapha ngaphakathi. I'm in this place that is so beautiful. It's green everywhere, and I can see even colors that are not even on this earth. Like I can't explain it. And at that time when I'm experiencing this, I start hearing, because another thing, I'm a nurse by profession, so I know the monitors and everything, what it all means. Then I start hearing monitors at that time going ding ding ding, and I could hear the doctor saying, bring the emergency trolley, we're losing her. So at that time, I can hear the nurses out and the doctors saying, run the adrenaline, but I can't move. At that time, that is happening around me, but I'm also in this other world. Angazi ngayichaza kanjani ne? And at that very minute, if my life flashes before me, I start seeing everyone that I love. I start seeing from my mom, and mind you, my mom and my dad had already passed on at that time. I start seeing everyone that I love. It happens like in a split second. I start seeing my children, I see my sisters, and it's like a dream. It's like they're flashing. It's like a flash. I'm trying to remember it exactly as it happened. It's like a flash. And at that time that's happening, I'm hearing the monitors also going on, and I'm hearing the doctors, and now they are giving me CPR. They're pumping my chest, and while that flash is happening and I'm hearing the doctors, I'm feeling something like something is touching me from my toes, like umoya mengabe uzophuma kuwe uqala enzansi. It doesn't start like from the head. Kuqala kuba nento engathi iyakubamba like enzansi. You can feel like something is slowly coming up your body, but now you it's like a pressure, and you can feel that thing as it's going up, that other part esithintile ngathi isifile and iyakhuphuka. And at that very moment, I go back to this beautiful place where there's so much of peace, and then I hear a voice, and this voice was so calm. I hear this voice, and I can't see a face. I can't see anything. It's just a voice. Ingibiza ngegama, ingibiza ngokuthi phindile. I'm going back now to that moment to remember, to go back, and it's saying that phindile, and then I respond, and then iti let me go back. Let me just go back. Sorry guys, I got distracted a little bit there by my son. I'm trying to concentrate, but then he made a sound and that completely took me off. I do apologize for that. So at that moment, this voice says to me, Pindil, and then I respond, but I can't see the voice. Oh, and then I say, please give me a second chance to life. And he just said one word. He says, why? And then I repeat, then immediately, because that presence was so powerful, I knew now I'm speaking to God of heaven armies. So I say to him, God, please, I ask you to please give me a second chance to life. And he says to me, why must I do that, Pindi? And then I say to him, God, please, because my children are still young. At that time, this 14-year-old that I have now, I think Mega no 4 or something. And then I've got another son, Mega no 8, so at that time 8 or 10. But then maybe cool. And that's the first thing that came to mind, was when I asked God to give me a second chance to life. I said, God, please give me a second chance to life. And he said, why? I said, because my children are still very young. They need me. And he says, I am here. I will take care of your children. Tell me, why must I give you a second chance to life? So when he said that to me, I said, God, if you give me a second chance to life, I promise you, I will devote my entire life to serving you. I will devote my life to you. And immediately when I said that, I heard the monitors going, and then the doctor saying, she's coming back, because they were suctioning me, because I was frothing. It was the end. So immediately when I changed my tune and I said to God, if you give me a second chance to life, I promise you I will serve you, and all my days ngizophilela wena baba, ngizophilela to do your will. When I said that, I came back to life. I heard the doctor saying, she's coming back, she's coming back. And I could hear the monitors that, okay, the saturation monitors going that her sats are going up. Her sats are going up from 40s, going up to 50. And I came back. But I couldn't speak at that time still. I was still under a coma and a ventilator. I was still there. But then I could hear the doctor saying, she's back, she's back. So that peaceful place that I was in, I was still there. I had so much of peace, guys. I can't even explain it to you. It is so beautiful. It is so peaceful. And God's voice, he doesn't stutter. It's so bold, but at the same time, it's so kind. You feel his love. And I can't even explain it. It was such a beautiful moment. And what I'm trying to say to you guys is I negotiated my way back into earth, just like Hannah did. She negotiated with God for a son. I negotiated with God for a second chance to life. Yes, I did. So that's the thing about God also. He wants to know what's in it for me. You'll find some other people, they'll be praying and asking God, please, I'm praying for a business, I'm praying for this, but then you are leaving God out of it. You are leaving God out of it. Remember when you pray and you ask God for something, Malabe involved somewhere there. Let not everything be just about you. So when I think about it, when he said to me, when I asked him, God, please give me a second chance to life because of my kids. He said, don't worry about your kids, Pindil. I will take care of them. But I must say, when I changed my tune saying that I will devote these children to you, my Lord, I came back to life. God gave me a second chance to life because I changed my tune. I negotiated my way back. I was literally on my way to the morgue. The doctors had said, there's no ways this woman, there is no ways, is alive. Akonagal. When I spoke to my doctor, Dr. Swat, the things he told me, guys, I went through it. But what I'm trying to say to you guys is this. Remember, when you pray and you ask God for something, involve him. When you ask God, change your tune. We should always go back to the scriptures. The scriptures in the Bible is our examples of how we should do things. I'm so sorry. I know other people might say, Ogunya, but this is facts. This is something that happened to me. Let me tell you something else. When I was working in Pretoria in a company in Gezina, right? There was this driver that was transporting me, and he was also a Christian. He was a believer. So we were always sharing these stories. So he says to me, so I shared the story with him, and he says to me, I cannot believe you just told me this. I said, why? He said, there was a lady that I know from Soweto that I helped her with her ministry and her NGO and stuff. And let me tell you what she told me. And I said, okay, I'm listening. So he says to me, there's a lady that had a tavern in Tavern Shabin, whatever you want to call it, in Soweto. So this lady, she was making a lot of money doing this, alcohol sales. Anyway, so she had a tavern there and it was successful. So this one day, unfortunately, she sustained cardiac arrest. I mean, she had what you call it? I'm trying to think of a simple term. She had basically she had a heart attack. Yeah, that's the word. She had a heart attack and she had to be rushed to hospital, whereby they were also performing CPR on her. So this is her testimony, right? So she says, when she's telling her story, that whilst they were performing CPR on her and then the doctors were saying, we're losing her, she says that at that very moment, she was kind of like, I beg your pardon, she was in this beautiful place whereby she also was talking to God at that moment, where she said, God, can you please give me a second chance to life? And God asked her the very same question that he asked me. He said, why should I give you a second chance to life? And she said, God, if you give me a second chance to life, I promise you I will devote all my days of life. Always, I will serve you. I will serve you ngey'nsuku zokuphila kwami wonke. And immediately she says, when she said that, she came back to life. So her story and my story kind of like is very, very similar. So what this driver told me is that lady, when she came back, she stopped having that tavern, she stopped selling alcohol, she stopped all the other bad things that she used to do, because it wasn't just selling alcohol and stuff. I'm not saying to other people who are doing that, because I know other people are they're using it in ways to make money and stuff. It's the way of an income, it's a business. But then apparently there was other things that she used to do that I can't even recall what it was. But nevertheless, so what this lady said is this: when she came back to life, she started a ministry. She opened up her own church. She stopped doing all the things that she used to do, and she devoted her whole life to God, because he gave her a second chance to life. She had to negotiate her way back to life. Guys, God is amazing, and he is so faithful. Let me tell you something. A lot of people at that very moment, I don't know because I'm sure what's in it for me, because I want you to understand God is like that. He always wants to know what's in it for him. We always know the story. We see the examples to the scriptures. We know with King Solomon that the reason why God granted him gave him so much of wealth was because of what he said. When God asked him, what would you like me to do for you? He asked for knowledge and wisdom. And God said, because you didn't ask me to kill your enemies, you didn't ask me for riches, you asked me for knowledge and wisdom for you to be able to lead my children, I will grant you that. And on top of that, I will grant you the world's riches. That is God for you. We should always live a life aligned with him. We should read the scriptures. We see that. Had Hannah not said, God, I will devote this child to you, was she going to have a son? Chances are no. Had I kept on saying, God, please, I want to wake up because my children are still very young, chances are I wouldn't be here today. So guys, I want us to read those scriptures and remember what God did before. He's the same God. The scriptures tell us that he's the same God yesterday, today, and forever. He does not change. He doesn't change. And yes, Hannah devoted Samuel to God, and she was gifted with many, many more kids after that. So guys, I hope my story encourages you guys to pray and to seek God and to live by ngendlela yeBhayibheli ngoba uNkulunkulu uyaphila. I've seen him, I've heard him. I haven't seen him, because the scriptures teaches us that no one who's seen God can live. So I've heard him, and I have so many other stories to share with you guys, because God has been so true to me, and I'm a living testimony. Because the whole goal here is that to serve God and to see him one day. So please guys, if you're new to of course you're new, it's my first ever video, please subscribe to my channel, please, and hit that notification bell, and to share it. And guys, please don't skip the ads, and please comment, tell me what you want to hear, and let's be a part of this family. And this is my very first video, so please be kind, and thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.